office of the national leader of the All Progressives Congress (APC), Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, met with President Muhammadu Buhari in his Abuja abode. Former Osun State Governor Chief Bisi Akande, who has become a permanent feature of such Tinubu-linked visits, led 3 others, Chief Segun Oshoba and 2 Lagos GAC members, Tajuddin Olusi and Abayomi Fini. They went in buoyant and left gloomy. Yoruba always attributes post-family meeting despondency among siblings to plain and painful truth shared behind bolted doors. 13 days before the Krabu visit, a presidential delegation led by COS Ibrahim Gambari had paid a condolence visit to Tinubu and the state government over the #EndSARS bereavement, and it should ordinarily be assumed that Jagaban had sent his eminent foot soldiers to thank the president for commiserating with him in both personal and sub-official capacity as the governor emeritus of Lagos. You ask why he wasn't on the trip as the man who received the presidential sympathy. Do Yoruba not always advise the bereaved to stay indoor? Well, Tinubu wasn't on the trip because it was opportunistic. His camp wanted to explore the so-called economic tragedies that just befell him. During the process, the political capitals, the president may be Fulani, but he seemed to know much about Yoruba's warning against antics. Because the sentiment is always in favor of the one who just suffered a loss. The Lagos group must have thought that Buhari's resolve to take charge of the party before his exit from power in 2023, God willing, would be weakened by the emotions of Tinubu being at the receiving end of what he was suspected to have programmed. His gang was caged. Before the EndSARS tragedies, the president had sent a message to Tinubu he wanted to take charge of the proposed membership registration for APC faithful, and he expected the Lagos strongman to give him full support, the way he, president, also supported him in 2013 when the Lagos Lord was allowed to take absolute charge of the party register, now described as obsolete by the party leadership. The exercise should ordinarily not be much of a problem, since it should be desirable to know the party's actual strength and measure growth. The only snag here is the entire party organs, from up to bottom, are also being primed for dissolution, just like the Adams Oshomole's NWC, which Tinubu backed like a rock, was dismantled by Buhari like a house of infamy to pave way for the May Bala Muni's FIDU, which is interim national leadership of the party. The president's resolve is now a major headache for the one seeking to succeed him, and emissaries are being thrown into it right, left, and center to get the Aso Rock soldier to listen to the billionaire lion, who has been deliberately placed on poor partisan diet by his powerful adversaries in the fortress they jointly built to provide political cover for them. Apart from trying to turn the habitation to a cage for Asiwaju, the shares allotted him in the joint venture are being deliberately squeezed to make him uncomfortable to the point of either backing or backing out. None of the options is comforting. The membership registration about to be conducted by the party will shame some leaders who have hitherto used bogus register of the past to confer undue community value of themselves. Since the new one is expected to be digital, too many ROMs may be in the opponent at the end of the day. Take the story of a state chapter, for example. During the presidential primaries, Buhari got 1.9 million votes, ostensibly mainly from party faithful. In the general election, he got 850,000 votes, supposedly from party members and independents. How do you explain that? Heavyweights are going to be paperweights. Tinubu asked Baba Konde and others to assure the president Lagos ESCO needs no dissolution as all is fine and well, despite the several court cases in Abuja and Lagos challenging the emergence of Tunde Balogun and his men. In fact, Lagos matter isn't a laughing matter like Baba Konde tried to make it look in the photo up with the president. It is constitutional in nature. It is whether to determine if APC is standing with the constitutionally of the existing 20 local governments or its leader and its 57, which are not in the rule book. No president was firm in his number. Can we dissolve party organs in 35 states and leave Lagos out? That was a rhetorical question that gummed the lips of the emissaries when they left Villa. The breaking news of their coming ended with no news, or maybe unpalatable news for the leader. Nothing to report. Now that it's certain Buhari is very interested in his successor, at least the one would at least the one would emerge from his party, and it is increasingly looking he isn't going to emerge from Bodilon. A fight would soon erupt, I predict. Well, how do I know? You can't take all away from a man at a go without a fight. Not even a man of God. He will ask God to fight for him since he can't possibly seek revenge on his own. This is really something else. Tinubu is definitely in dove. He's more of a raptor because he has learned to be a patient destroyer when dealing with powers that could commandeer his economic and political destruction in a blink. What they are trying to take away from him is bigger than Lagos. State without APC sitting governors, where he had joined Oshomole to install pliable air school, from which he was planning to reap a windfall of delegates during the presidential primaries, are about to be dismantled. Almost certainly his powerful enemies, including those in the National Secretariat who are biting and blowing breeze, won't allow his friends back as escorts in those states. As at the last count, you can't count more than 5 sitting APC governors on his side. Then the Humahi, good luck permutations and projections keep coming into the APC presidential mathematics, and you expect Tinubu not to fight after his men like Adams, Fowler and Magu have beaten the dust. Yoruba will say, the courageous always go for the broke. Tinubu will be within range to fight back because his adversaries appear determined to either turn him into a party effigy or add so much fire to the water until he jumps out. You know, one thing I've been saying is that how come that Tinubu went into agreement with these people just like that on a mere talk, not even a written agreement. Now he's now running from pillar to post to be able to be relevant. It's very, very unfortunate. Running from pillar to post, and that means his calculation was very, very wrong. And those who they think that they are not politically inclined, oh, that is the professor of politics. Now those one they call a beer parlor talk, their talks are beginning to come to play, meaning that there was no balanced agreement, confirmed agreement, because this whole thing is not supposed to be coming up. You are hearing Humahi, you are hearing Jonathan here and there, to the extent that these people, the so-called APC members or governors, went to visit Jonathan, trying to woo him to come to APC. That is to tell you that Tinubu didn't do his own work in my own way, in my own calculation, from my own point of view. Okay, enemy of progress, Buhari will leave office and his political influence dies from that day. A man who cannot even rule country properly. Tinubu will remain strong in the West. Those jealous of him can go hang himself. But that's not the issue. He's made a mistake because Tinubu is not supposed to be struggling and no. With the way he's being rated and the way he contributed to the emergence of Buhari being the president, he's not supposed to be running a task-getter, honestly. To me, it's very, very unfortunate. Wishful thinking, Buhari or the Kabas are no fools. Before leaving office, Buhari would ensure that Tinubu is permanently defranged so he would never bite again. Only a fool will go to sleep, leaving his enemy fully armed. Ha! Just hear how you sound. Why will Buhari destroy Tinubu? That really show how That should really show how wicked and cruel you Hausa people are. But it's unfortunate. The third Tinubu before. I can reliably assure you that Tinubu knew right from the beginning that Buhari is not a serious adversary that is capable of giving serious challenge as far as his influence on the party and his ambitions are concerned. Forget about it, Asiwaju is a man of integrity and honor. This is what you get when you bring down someone to achieve what you really don't deserve. So guys, let's hear your opinion concerning this whole drama, this kind back and forth talk, whether Tinubu is going to be this or is going to be begging for all of these things. Leave your comments and let's know your thoughts on this.